Welcome to Gabara Gabara, and today we're gonna talk about Shin Godzilla.
Our first
Fan-requested.
fan-requested movie. I was
Yes.
gonna say a listener. Like, yeah.
By the way, I'm Alex, and this
It's
is
Clayton. Which, focus. There you go.
Look at that! Look at that beautiful face. That's a face only a mother could love, right there.
That's exactly right. The little tiny eyes.
Did you see the fan?
Oh shit.
The fan picture that someone put out like around this movie when it was released. They put, instead of those little tiny beady eyes, they gave it the GMK eyes.
Oh, soulless white eyes.
And it was awesome. It honestly made it better. And I kind of wish that they would have went that route.
Cool. Okay. I will. The head's growing on me,
Oh yeah.
and I will say that yes, this.
This is the SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla figure.
And you're gonna watch me break it on.
Oh my god! Please don't.
I'm gonna stop messing with it right now.
This is one of my favorite figures that I have. I wanted to get the Awakening version, which is the one that actually comes with the purple beams out of his back, and it gives you the tail, the mouth, all that, and it gives you the cool fireball, so you can pose him leaning downward as if he's shooting fire all over the city.
Chrissy saw it last night. It's like Atomic Vomit. Well, that was right before the Fireball.
Ooh, good band name.
Atomic Vomit.
Yeah.
I had Wicket Leprechaun Snot.
Wicket?
Wicket
Like
Leprechaun.
like the Ewok?
No, Wicket.
Well, Wicket's the Ewok from Star Wars.
Well, yeah, but Wicked.
Oh, Wicked. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Wicket Leprechaun Snot. It kind of goes together. I don't know why, but I really like that, like from high school.
So, you want to give us a little rundown?
Okay, so first off, this movie is amazing. A lot of people didn't like it because there was a lot of talking, but it's.
I thought that was actually a good. The way they did it was really good. It showed a lot of the red tape and the bureaucracy of Japan and how they go through their government and make decisions.
I loved one of the guys said that. It's like, oh, there's so much red tape to do a press conference. It's like, oh, don't knock it. It's the red tape is like the backbone of bureaucracy or something. It's like, yes, but it's taking forever. To do anything.
You have to get like 6 different clearances to shoot one gun.
Oh man, that was frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a civilian in the way. Like, should we fire? Should we fire? Should we fire? Should we fire, ma'am? Mr. Prime Minister, we need your order now. Like, oh.
I when we get to that part, I have something to say on that might make me seem like a heartless, callous person.
It was one man and a child.
The needs of the many, man. Needs of the many.
Sacrifice millions to save billions.
Right? You gotta. It sucks.
You
gotta do it.
I support Ozymandias and Watchmen.
Right.
So don't come at me, Spock.
Hey, no. I'm on board with it. Needs of the many, and they gotta live. I mean, I hate it. I hate it for you. Fire a bunch of missiles. Take that thing out while you can.
I wonder if they actually could have killed Third Form. All right. So anyway, movie starts off. We're gonna get to it here in a second.
He was very fleshy.
He was. He's still healing. The movie starts off in a little pleasure yacht from Goromaki. He is not there. I like that hard edit, I guess you could call that. And he's like, oh, there's a vessel off course in the ocean. Like, all right, we're going aboard. We're on board. And it just immediately cuts to the guy's like camera as he's walking through the boat.
There's a couple really like hard cuts in this movie that hurt and help it.
Okay, this is gonna give Alex a conniption. Oh, nope. Oh, here. There we go.
And ta-da, here we are.
Here's Alex. There's my Red Ranger shirt. Shut up. The Red Ranger liked one of my photos on Instagram today. Well, one of the Red Rangers.
Oh, well, you know who? King Ghidorah didn't like anything. He burnt it down. So, there you go. Anyway, you were saying.
So they don't waste any time in this movie showing Godzilla. It's immediately you see something in the water.
Mm-hmm. Which is first form a giant tail.
There we go. Watch this. Yeah, that's all it was. It was this little bitty hump thing. Oh, it was a whale.
Yeah, what whale?
Yeah.
What whale ever?
And then all of a sudden, this big tail just comes up out of the ocean. Almost immediately after everybody in the press conference is like, "Oh, it couldn't be an animal. It's no animal could survive that heat."
Yeah.
Big tail.
Yeah, that one guy's like, pretty sure it's a giant sea creature, and they're like, we don't have time for your jokes. And then, sure enough, they're like, turn on the TV. Oh.
And then you see tiny little, still like turkey. Was it this the Turkeyzilla?
Yeah, where he's coming
So
through the
there's
city.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's either the turkey or the eel. He's going through the boats. That scene bothers me because you just see the boats, and even no later in the movie, you see the cars as he's like walking through. There's no damage to the cars. Or the boats.
No, it does. Yeah, that one, that's kind of annoying. There's no damage.
And they just bounce.
There's a lot of debris, but when you see a car get shot up 20 feet in the air and into a building, and it looks like the graphics off like a mid-90s NASCAR game when it hits a wall, like, there's nothing wrong with it.
The trains later in the movie
Same thing.
Bug the S out of me. I'm gonna censor myself. They just go right up his body and just explode.
Yeah, physics and gravity don't work that way. They don't just ramp up him.
No, they would.
They would just, yeah.
So everybody in the press conference, although the prime minister's meeting says that it won't come on land. It'll collapse, like it's in the water. If he gets on water, he'll be crushed. So the prime minister wants to go, and he passed away several months ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
sucks.
He wants to comfort the people, so he goes on live television, says, don't worry about it, it's not coming on land. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Do what?
Did what? And he's on land, just like staring at everybody. I love the big eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Huge eyes.
Well, because the eyes are the final form size. He literally grows into his eyes.
Yeah.
But I will say that him shuffling around on the street and the boats and everything looks like my dog when he's running around with a toy in his mouth. My little wiener dog.
It looks like he's smiling.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, everybody. But every time, it seems like every 2 steps or so, like the gills open up and just thick blood. I was supposed to look up how to pronounce the director's name. I can hear it in my head. It's this where
okay.
Yeah, he created Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of references to it. There's like the several parts of several. I'm watching myself in this. This is new to this shop. There's a lot of music from
the originals in here, which is one of the best things about this movie, is the score. The roar is kind of like one of the OG roar. It's
several times.
When he first goes into Form 3, that red one that actually is now.
He stands up. And the little hands kind of form out.
That initial roar, and I love that you can see the heat coming off of it. That's really cool.
It's just a little weird sometimes hearing the music.
Okay, I'm gonna butcher this. Hideki Anno. Sorry, Anno.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway. It's just a little weird sometimes hearing that music from the 50s in a 2014. Just a little bit to me. Just a little bit. It's amazing, but
I love it. I'll take it every day.
Could you just remaster it just a little bit, maybe? Well, there's some music from Ava in this, like when they're prepping.
The drums, the doom, 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 all those.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I knew that was all from Ava. I actually happen to like. I've never seen that, by the way, and I happen to really like those drums. I thought that was really cool.
There's one scene in Ava when Unit 1 goes berserk. It's pretty awesome. It's a little creepy too because it's like a night shot. You see the trees. Unit 1 standing over him, like hunched over, and you see like lights reflecting off its eyes, and it blinks, and you see it blink. It's realistic and it's creepy because the mouth opened up. You see human-like teeth. Spoiler alert! And it's howling. And like, you're a robot. You're not really a robot, are you? Oh crap.
Well, I know. Evangelion is supposed to come to Netflix sometime soon.
I would let you borrow mine.
You don't have to, because I have Netflix, and it will soon come to them. And then
Netflix.
maybe we can cover it. So, hey.
You'll get to the very end of it like, what did I just watch? That's exactly what Christy said.
Yeah, I've heard
what
that.
the F did I just watch?
I've heard that.
Sorry I wasted your time on that. So there's a lot of references on this one. There's when America drops whatever kind of bombs those were.
The bunker busters.
That's what I wanted to say they were. And the blood just pours out of... That's fourth form Godzilla.
That is fourth form.
Okay. That pisses him off.
Well, yeah, that's the
Huge.
That's the one thing that does damage. And in my notes, that it was funny because Japanese government, they're like, perhaps we can get the Americans to help. And then they're like, oh yeah, the Americans are already on the way. No one even asked them. They're just coming with the B-52 bombers or the stealth bombers. And so yeah, they drop those bunker busters on him, and kinda are the reason that Godzilla immediately shoots the purple beams all over the place and burns down that entire city.
But how do you explain the tail, though?
What do you mean?
We'll get to that in a little bit.
The evolution of the tail when shooting the beam? I just think you could always do that. I mean, this Godzilla anyway, not I don't see Showa doing that.
Well, there wasn't a weird face at the end of his tail.
No, the end of this thing's tail is very wild.
Okay,
and
so
he's
we're
still evolving.
How do we do this? There we go. So this thing. Yep, there it is, right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit.
Which I remember when this
Oh God.
came out, people were like, is that a whale skeleton in his tail?
Yeah.
It was really cool. I actually like it that it's not finished, you know? For whatever reason, the tip of the tail is still evolving and growing.
So they finally, all right, the government finally is like, all right, we're going to get the self-defense force on this thing. And, yeah, we're going to do this back. Nope. Yep. There we go. They go through all these different channels just to have their attack helicopters shoot the thing.
Mm-hmm. Which does nothing.
Well, when they first get to it, by the time they get to it, Godzilla's already evolved from second form to third form, which is him just standing straight up and growing little arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the helicopters come around the building, he's almost at eye level. Well, no, he's above the helicopters. So they freak out, and then turns out there's a guy and a child
Crossing the railroad tracks down there.
still in the city, and they don't fire.
Which, okay. I'm sorry. I would have done it. I mean, could you have killed Godzilla in that form? Maybe. The skin might not have been hard enough to resist the bullets like he is in fourth form.
You see the skin shimmer. I caught that the second time I watched it. It just
Yeah, it's still fleshy. And so there's a good chance. Now, maybe not with what they had right then, a couple Apache helicopters, but if they had what they had for fourth form, all the tanks and all those missiles, they could have dropped him right then and there.
oh man, that was such a cool shot.
But alas, they didn't do it. They didn't pull the trigger.
No, so you see his dorsal fins heat up. I like that he just stands there and he's just looking at the helicopters, and as they heat up, he just turns around and looks at them. And that's the first time, and then you just see him walk. He actually is looking around.
Mm-hmm.
He roars, hits the ground again, and just takes off back into the ocean. And you don't ever see him ever again until about
30 minutes, 20 minutes later.
and then he comes back looking like that.
And so that is one problem in this movie that I have.
Not seeing him double in size.
No, not that. Every Godzilla movie, one of the coolest parts about it is watching him rise out of the water.
Oh, he's already...
And we don't get that in this movie. It's guy comes in the conference room, Godzilla's back in the harbor, and he's here, and hard cut, Godzilla is already just strolling up in the harbor.
Yeah.
And that scene is amazing. The music that's playing, it's one of the original themes. Godzilla's
I don't have a problem with that one, apparently. Yes, that's an awesome shot.
Exactly. It's such a good shot, but I don't like that they didn't give us that form rising out of the water. I think that would have been really cool to see. Just maybe that tail, and then he slowly, like, you know how he hunches over when he breathes the fire? Is that coming out? Like, oh man, that would have been so cool.
There was a shot of the tail going over
the houses and buildings.
Yeah, and everybody looks up. Like,
that was awesome.
Yeah, but how did you not know? Because everybody was just so surprised that this giant tail just went over the top of him. How did you not hear his footsteps? Because this is at the time.
Oh yeah.
The biggest Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. By the way, aside from the anime, that title has been taken. Did you hear that they just announced the height size for the monsters in the new Godzilla movie, and new legendary Godzilla is several meters taller than Shin. The Americans came back. As my brother said, eventually it's just going to be Godzilla the Planet Eater. Literally, he's just going to be as big as the planet himself. Like,
You'll be able to see him like outside of the atmosphere. And, the space station's going to go by and just see this giant.
So now.
And, it's just going to be this Godzilla standing on this disc floating through the solar system.
He's breathing. He's hunched up, breathing the fire, flying through space, like he does in Hedorah. Except he's just in space.
I made a flat Earth joke. I hate those people. If you're one of those people that believe the Earth is flat and you're watching this, just cut it off. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. I'm sorry.
Idiot.
I want your views. I want your likes.
Your views.
I
want your views, just not your beliefs.
No, I don't want your opinions. You're watching this, so obviously you kind of want mine. I'm being an a-hole today. So, Godzilla shows up. They have tanks. They have artillery. Love the artillery.
Mm-hmm.
Who shot the missiles?
Rocket launchers from. I think some of them came from the Apaches as well.
Did they have jets this time?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. Oh my god! I honestly.
Yes. Or they had bombers because that was the first time they dropped the bombs on his head.
Yep.
You saw that shield.
The shield over the eye. Yes. And all that was able to do was just redirect his course. That was it.
Yeah.
Japan's everything, their military might could only just change his course.
And nothing. He acts like he doesn't even feel it, which is not
been a problem with a lot of people. At least with like a lot of these other Godzilla movies, where he's clearly like not damaged by the military, whatever arsenal they use. He at least has some kind of facial reaction. He'll roar at it. You can tell it actually upsets him. This one just does not care. It is just a wall moving.
I love that you can see and hear the bullets bouncing off his head.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
That skin's like diamonds at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, let's artillery. Let's aim for his head. And let's shoot with the tanks. Shoot him at his feet. Nothing works.
Yeah.
It is such a cool shot when they shoot him in the head, and the black smokes everywhere.
And then you just see
and
the
he
face
just
rise
like
through
walks right through it, and
Yeah.
he's not hurt at all.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Because even then, when they're in the war room watching it, they are just like, oh, crap.
Yeah, and so he finally gets to Tokyo. This is Tokyo at the end. Well, in the middle, right? Anyway, so he finally gets to this city, and the Americans arrive.
Yeah. We're going to call the Americans. Oh, they're already on the way.
Yeah. They drop the bunker busters.
And then comes, let's be honest, the best scene in the whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
Easily the best scene.
Nighttime. Blood. Oh, yeah. All right, so that's the problem I have with your figure.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be more red.
That was a complaint that a lot of people had.
Yeah.
It's growing on me. Just think of it as this is meant for daytime shots.
It's fine. It's really cool.
It's for daytime shots.
Yeah, looking at it right here, it's amazing. But it just needs a little bit.
That was a lot of issues that folks had when this one got released. Is everyone said that the red isn't red enough, and
the tail looks amazing.
The tail was the selling point for me. Yeah, NECA's tail is nowhere near this. Like, I got the NECA Shin Godzilla, Because
compare it in a
I
second.
didn't think that I was going to be able to get this one, and then I was, and this one is by far. I mean, I still haven't got the Atomic Shin Godzilla, which I kind of want, because I do know that I'm not going to get the Monster Arts one. That thing is so expensive now.
I think Target actually has one right now.
Yeah, I saw it not long ago. And I almost got it, but I was busy getting the Scorpion and the Snake Alien. So
Oh God, I really wish I got Scorpion and Reptile from Storm
you
Collectibles.
should have got the Scorpion Alien.
I want more aliens.
You need these two. These two are some of the best that NECA's done.
So anyway,
Tangent, sorry.
The bombs hit Godzilla, blood everywhere. That's when he gets mad.
Yeah, that finally got a reaction from him, and
I don't know.
he burns the house down.
I don't know if that's a puppet head or if that's CGI. Just how it moves. If it's CGI, they did a really good job making it like a puppet or how it moves. Mm-hmm. But his head, which is normally like this, like how we have it there, just rears back, roars. That's really the first time you see any reaction. Yeah. And he starts to glow purple.
And then the
opera orchestra music sets in.
That's if
Dogs
I
right
was,
now.
if I was to listen to that, like not knowing that it was from this movie, I'd been like, eh. But then like when I was originally watching this movie in the theater, and and then that started happening, I was blown away. I was glued to it.
Not only were you blown away, but
Everyone
so was the
else
Prime
was.
Minister was.
Everybody, yes. He gets taken out by the beam because that fire
Half
burns
the
everything.
cabinet is on this one helicopter.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they're just like, oh, Gojira's glowing. Like, but for what purpose? Smoke, just like this pillar of smoke starts coming out of Godzilla's mouth. And then it turns to fire. And then it just fine tunes itself to this long, I wouldn't say
Purple
needle
laser.
thin, but yeah, it's
just a laser of fiery death.
high pitch atomic.
Yeah, and
laser.
even has the whistle to it.
Yeah.
And then I love that it never ends. Like you don't see the end of it. It just goes. It's like,
It's like something from Dragon Ball Z. You would just expect where the planet is, the orb, the sphere that our planet is, not a flat disc. The beam just goes and just like goes off into space because it finally breaks that atmosphere.
You know what it really is? It's Doug Dimmadone's hat from the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
I don't know what that is.
Someone out there, please know what that is. Did you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents?
No.
Oh man, it was a like this rich dude on there.
We're 22 minutes in, man.
No. He had a white hat, right? But the hat went up. You just never saw the end of it. In every scene ever, it was no matter where he was, the hat just went up as far as you could go, and it was always out of screen.
Jesus. So, yeah, Godzilla fine tune hits, just looked up. I don't know how he knew the bomber was up there, right above him.
Some kind of I guess sonar.
He's got like
built
some sort
into him where he
in
could
his back.
tell where it's at. Yeah, because even when he then takes out that bomber, he then shoots out of the spines, and Pink Floyd Laser Show, and he starts moving around.
Hits the other two bombers, which that's one thing I want to talk about. The Japanese version, the Americans can't act. I'm guessing these are the same type of people that were in the first Gamera movie. They just found them on a military base and just gave them some lines. It's like Bomber 1, Bomber 2, and Bomber 3 come around the back. Payback. Yeah, payback. But Funimation did a little bit better. Same words, but yeah, payback. America.
One thing I liked is when they were trying to kill, just not to go back a little bit, but when they were talking about killing Third Form, one of the lines in the movie is, maybe we can rebuild the town with his carcass. And I just got Pacific Rim vibes.
Pacific
Rim.
Rim.
And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. Like,
we built this city on Godzilla. Yeah. What you got? What do you got?
just kind of looking through here. We did not really mention we mentioned Gormaki, but for the viewers, do they know who Gormaki is?
No, nobody really knows who he is.
Well, he's supposed to be the name anyway from '85, and son of Godzilla.
I was like, and we talked about this several episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in our first episode, which is at 99 views as of this watch.
Oh, get one more. Let's get 100.
Just one more. This is our first episode.
That'd be awesome. And all the others can sit around, what, 16?
I think
5? This one will get more, because everyone
I
knows
think
Shin
I think
Godzilla.
Biollante has the least views out of the third views. Chrissy's episode of Mothra is getting up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I watched that
I
one.
think people really just want
I like the car one. I
that one. I feel like we could have done a little bit better, but
feel like you could have got pulled over for that one.
we may not do that again. I'm like, yeah, I'm just driving.
I'm like, watching this before I get ready to go to work in the morning.
You see blue lights behind us, like, what are y'all doing?
Well,
Talking about Mothra.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So we got Godzilla uses his fire, hits the Prime Minister's cabinet helicopter. Main character Kun, and I just got a text message. So that's a friend of mine. She just went to go see Endgame.
Anyway, let's not. We can talking about another movie, not Endgame.
So main character, we're bombing on this episode.
Pretty much to shorten this up,
There's really no real set main character in this movie. There is, but there really kind of isn't. It's just that you see this guy, he has a team. One guy said it best. Basically, how Japanese movies are, the country is the main character, and this is like the best people
Godzilla's the
around.
main character. Let's be honest. I didn't go to watch this movie for people. Watch this movie for Godzilla, the star of the
There we
show.
go. I was just like, well, quick, there has to be somebody in this movie that's hot that makes it worth watching. Yes, there is.
Godzilla,
No.
super hot, burning down the city with his hotness.
Atomic hot.
Anyway.
The American girl.
So Godzilla burns down the city and then takes a nap. Takes a little nap.
Freezes in the middle of the city. Just
Yeah. And so then they come up with a plan to basically freeze him.
using coagulant and was it silicone was one of them?
Subway trains, I believe is the word you're looking for. Lots of subway trains.
And drones.
And so yeah, Godzilla wakes up, has another rampage in the daytime
Really
now.
cool crane system.
Yes. Uses his back lasers again in the daytime to start taking out more buildings. And they have all these subway trains filled with the coolant converge on him.
No.
Yeah, the
Not
trains
subway
aren't filled with the coolant. No, yeah.
I think they're loaded up with explosives.
Yeah. Yeah, they have all the tanks and stuff, the tankers that are filled with coolant to spray him down.
No, watching it last night or yesterday afternoon, when the first crane platoon goes in. All right, before this, pause there. Godzilla's walking through the city. This is where the movie is really smart because at this point it's the main character guy who's probably in his 30s and 40s, and his team is all like younger folks too, like the younger generations. You got your like lone wolves, outcasts, socially awkward people. It's like the best people they could come up with, and it's really cool. They have this plan. Well, we got to get Godzilla down so we get the cranes up to him. So how can we do it? They put explosives inside the buildings. They blow up their own buildings to knock him down. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He gets down. They run in with their old trucks or something. These big, long crane systems. They go right into his mouth. They start pumping the coolant in there. Godzilla's standing there for a little bit. I think they get 20% in. He starts going purple again. Lights him up. I've skipped a really awesome scene.
It's all right.
I really like these scenes, so I want to go back. But this...
Let's make it through the plot first. Then we can talk about...
Oh, God, we're 29 minutes in. He just wipes out all those people. Well, then they do it again with the subway cars and knock him back down. And the people they go right back in. Like, at this point, like the second platoon, they know they probably are not going to make it through this.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this is the movie that makes me think about that. Like, these people, they know. I guess because they made these people more human than some of the other Godzilla movies, or something. I don't know. Like, I felt more for these characters because I guess they didn't really dwell on them much.
Well, you spent a lot of time with them in this movie.
Yeah.
You really did get to know a lot of these characters.
This is a serious movie. It's not like a show
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
Heisei movie where it's kind of like it's got some jokes and it's a little goofy. This is a pretty serious movie. This is like goes back to the first movie,
Yeah.
and
Which is one reason why I think this film was so divided. You either really liked this film or you hated this film.
but it was from the nuclear reactor, and like I wouldn't say the slow response on it, but I guess it was the director making a comment towards it.
For Fukushima?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what this was. About how Japan handled the whole Fukushima accident. I mean, directly correlates with Godzilla itself. I mean, it started with them dumping all that nuclear waste in the ocean, and then one of the theories was that it turned an already ancient life form that was not necessarily like known about, I guess, by the masses. It was just they had thought of it as an ancient life form that was swimming around down there. It got mutated into Godzilla.
yeah. You see the barrels and then like there's bite marks into it.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely correlates with how Japan's government can handle things, all its bureaucracy.
And those people that went in, the workers that went in as it was like the reactor is melting down, they knew good chance you're not making it back through this.
Yeah.
Those are some. Hopefully, you won't get punished for this. Those are some damn fine heroes. I don't know why I would be punished for that. I'm cursing. But no, oh man, when I heard that on the news, it was just tear. Like, those are some brave people right there. It's
because if you do make it out, you'll never be the same.
No. Oof.
That's the scary thing about radiation.
Oh, this movie is. Well, they succeed. They cool him down. He hits in like an hour or two before America or France.
Yeah, they were going to
Nuke it.
just straight nuke him, but they got him frozen, and he is now just a little nice addition to Japan. Now he's just hanging out, frozen until he thaws again.
I don't know if he ever will.
Will he ever thaw? Yeah. But they did it at a good time because then at the end of the movie it goes right up to his tail, the tip of it, and you see all of the humanoid like Godzilla creatures that were beginning to break away from the tip of his tail and possibly take over the city, which people had said like, oh, that'd be a good sequel. No, don't make a sequel.
There's no need to make a sequel.
No need. This is a fine movie on its own. It does not need a sequel.
Here's my problem.
Although the only sequel he should make, however, is they did talk about at one point that he could continuously evolve, maybe grow
I will
wings,
smite you.
grow
I will
wings,
smite you.
and he becomes Destroyer,
No.
a weird Shin Destroyer. I'm alright with that.
Destruction.
That'd be
There's my problem with the tail.
that'd be cool. Anyway,
And it's not like it's an awesome set. But when you see him freeze, the tail is how it's always been. It's just this big long dildo. Nothing's changed.
let's sneak that one in there.
No. But when they go back to him later and they start painting up, you see that there's a change. Like the creatures are just like had already started
Well,
forming out.
they're so small that I don't think you could see it from far away. It's when they zoom up to it, like that's when you see like it's more bulbous at the end from where they are breaking apart.
Bulbous.
But I wonder how big they are in comparison to people.
Okay, so the rumor is that that's from Goramaki's DNA. Because they even say, oh, where's Goramaki now? And they show the tail for a second, and it's the whole head, jaw, apparently. And this is when he's frozen. You see the jaw just go, and opens up. Like, well, that's new. Well, then he goes, as they're flying the drones in, so they figure out, hey, if we get him to use up his energy, because it's not unlimited, he'll slow down and he'll freeze again. So let's wear him out. We're going to bomb him. Laser light show, hit the drones, the back stops, and you see to go up his tail, and then the jaw, and shoots out. So he's got one beam coming out of his mouth, one beam coming out of the tail, and weird.
Which is, again, one reason kind of why I want that NECA figure.
Go get it.
Probably will. Probably.
I ain't got time for it.
You will if I bring it over here and with these buildings, you're like, I'm gonna get some photos.
I need some more buildings.
I'm working on it. Been in a creative slump as of late.
I've been in that for like the last 6 years. That's why I haven't done any costumes. But final thoughts on the movie. We're pushing 40 minutes now.
Yeah, I still got a little bit of news to say after this too.
I love this movie.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic.
Top 3.
Love the score. I know you had some qualms with it. Love the score.
Well, I don't have a
sound.
problem with it. It's just this little. Well, when he's evolving or something, it just cuts back. But I love the song. But I don't know. It's just.
I liked it. I liked the music was one of my favorite parts of this film. Watching it, I do like how there are some small bits of comedy in here, like when they're all sitting there, the computers working in the conference room, and that one guy's just like, I got it! Like
5 minutes before that, so the computer girl, she was fun. She's like, maybe the answer, like, well, they're trying to figure out what does it eat, and then it's like, well, maybe the answer is nuclear fission, and the guy's like, sense of humor, that's impossible. And so I did on Instagram yesterday. It's like, you're wrong because you're clearly wrong because you're a woman. Well, then 5 minutes later, it turns back. They're sitting in they're sitting in the room, and the same guy, he's like,
Yep.
that's impossible.
Yup.
And it's like, what? And then she just comes walking in, like, yep, I was right.
Yep.
Like, it's the thing. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, she was pretty awesome in this movie.
I love that
I liked
she
her
just
better than the other girl. That's supposed to be the
American.
the American ambassador. Yeah, she was kind of lame.
She was pretty.
But yeah, I loved it. I liked the design. Did take a little bit for me to grow on because before this movie got released, I saw kind of a sneak shot of this design that was at Toho Studios, and people were like, "Is this the new Godzilla?" And he wasn't as black; he was more still the beige, but it was still kind of this form, and it was weird looking. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know about this." But then when the movie came out and I actually saw the trailer, I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be pretty cool."
They modeled the skin. One of the rumors is that they modeled it on this fruit, and they had it next to the maquette of Godzilla, but people, because of the internet, thought that was
It was born of fruit.
that it was the first form. Think Hedorah.
Yeah.
It's the tadpole
Yeah.
because it looks like a gourd is what it is. I think it is.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
not
yeah.
really a fruit.
I've seen what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a big bulbous thing with a tail on it, and it's gray. It's got warts all over it. Yeah, it kind of looks like an alien tadpole.
Yeah.
Thank God that's not what they did. It's
Yeah.
just giant tail. I wanted to know what the rest of that looks like.
I imagine that it probably looked like a sperm. Just a big, just a head of sorts and a long tail. And then as it grew, it eventually grew the legs first.
What's that shark? I've been thinking about this entire time. I think it's like a 3-fin shark or 3-gill shark. I don't know. It's a fish that I think they found. It's ancient. I think they found it around Japan. It's this big flat head, big smile, giant eyes, red gills. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the movie. I don't really have too much more to say on it, but
It's smart.
do have
It's long.
some news.
And if you watch it in Japanese, you might want to cut off all the subtitles because there's a lot of subtitles.
There's also a lot of subtle differences in the subtitles. I actually went and saw it when this movie
I didn't
came
see
out in theaters. I drove out to the Mall of Georgia. It was the closest spot that was airing it.
Yeah.
And me and Sam went out there and we watched it. And so I got to watch. They aired it showed it in Japanese, English subtitles,
A
and
lot of subtitles everywhere.
it was Like, I was reading as much as I could, but I mean, let's be real. When he was on screen destroying stuff, you ain't reading nothing. You're blown away by whatever's happening.
There was like 20 different cabinet members that they show, and every one of them has a title. Every ship has a title.
Every time they go to a new area, they list it.
Yep.
I mean, so there's a lot of different, and the way they did it in the theater, as well as if you watch it on DVD too, is it'll be like where they're at, title of the person, title of, whatever, or subtitle, whatever they're saying. Like, so there's a lot of different stuff to read. So yeah, now whenever I watch it, I do just put it on English dub.
I like some of the cast members on that.
Oh yeah. As far as news goes, so
news.
Here we go. The new Godzilla comic, Aftershock, I believe, has a published date of May 21st. A lot of people thought it was going to come out before then. I think originally it was rumored to be around April, so that's kind of lame that we're not getting it sooner. Also, so this one kind of peeves me a little bit. So there's a 5-minute IMAX trailer going around. It's also peeped up on HBO if you watch Game of Thrones for Godzilla. And, it's not going to really talk about what's in it because it can be considered spoilery. However, it's more limited. Like, you have to go watch it in either IMAX or you have to have had HBO. It's not on YouTube, right? So I don't consider that mass marketing material. Like, granted, it is hitting some big ones because it was before Endgame, and so I know a lot of people probably went and saw that in IMAX. But as far as, like, mass media, stuff like it's airing on just regular public television and, like, YouTube ads, there are these smaller trailers that have names like Balance and Beautiful and stuff like that. So there is one trailer called Balance, I believe, that has a scene in it that is massive, massive spoilers. I'm not going to say what it is for people listening, but I will say avoid watching that one if you can. It took me the second time I watched it, I saw it, and I was kind of, not going to lie, I was kind of pissed off about it. It's a trope that's used in a lot of Godzilla movies, and I thought they might do it in this one, but...
He dances, doesn't he?
No. Now it's confirmed, and I'm kind of like, okay. But anyway, that's enough for that. Just be aware when you're watching this Godzilla marketing. I guess since they're ramping up, since it's literally a month away, they're throwing everything out there now, and I don't think they care too much about spoilers. So
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, Clayton does not know what it is, and I'm not going to tell him. So that's trying to think if there's anything else I have for news. Oh, there is a petition going around to have Atari remake, or it's not remake, but remaster the old Godzilla games, like Godzilla Unleashed, stuff that came out for like the GameCube. Yeah.
Destroy all monsters.
Yeah.
Melee.
There's 3 of them, and they're trying to get them to remaster them and put them back out. And I think I signed it. I know they're trying to get reach a pretty big number. So far, I don't know. I think Atari said they were down. It's them and another company, and one of the companies said they're down to do it. It just depends if they can get the other one to get on board. Whether that's Atari or not, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to think, is there any other news I have? Oh, yes, there is more. So Toho...
You got 2 minutes.
Yeah. Toho has a footing in Hollywood, and that's one where they're like working with Legendary. They actually dumped a sizable pile of money into that, and so everyone was like, okay, we want the MonsterVerse to continue after Godzilla vs. Kong. Legendary said they hope so. They want to keep making Godzilla movies after Godzilla vs. Kong. Toho seems like they could be on board. Nothing is set for sure, but they did say it will depend on how these 2 movies do, Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. I think, honestly, you'll know after Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters. I don't think they're going to have to wait to Kong to find out if they're going to keep making them or not. But Toho just dumped a bunch of money into their American, building over here, whatever it is, or whatever the word I'm looking for is. And so hopefully they're down to keep making these as well. So go see these movies.
I think it'll get a lot of people. they've broadcasted it on Game of Thrones and in the Avengers, so you're going to get those people.
Yeah, you're gonna hopefully get those people to go watch. I'm gonna go watch it a couple times. It is definitely.
That tail.
I know, right? Go watch these movies. We need to support the kaiju genre in America. Also, there's 2 other kaiju movies that are getting brought over from Japan. Rigo, something like that. Anyway, watch these movies. They're awesome.
All right, bye. All right, next movie. Gamera. Was it Gamera? Do you want to do Gamera?
Next movie, yes. All right, next movie is Gamera, for sure. Gamera. However, we have to do something for the MonsterVerse.
Oh, yeah.
So, next movie should definitely be Gamera, but also, I've asked you about this. You haven't given me a direct answer. Do you want to do...
I've asked you a lot of things you haven't given... Sorry.
You're right. But do you want to do a movie or an episode encompassing all 3, or do you want to do one that's Godzilla and Skull Island combined, and then focus on King of the Monsters all to itself, a very spoiler-filled episode? Because I know me and you are both going to go watch it, and so...
I'm taking the day off.
So I'm actually going on vacation that week that after it comes out, so I'm going to go that Thursday night as soon as it drops. I'm working that day. No, I don't think I'm off that day. I think I work that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll be working all that weekend. So that Thursday, I'm going.
All right, then.
So, yeah. So that needs to be on the list. We need to do Gamera, but we also need to cover King of the Monsters and the rest of the MonsterVerse.
We're never going to get back to Showa movies. I can already feel it.
Oh, we're going to get back to Showa.
Yeah.
Because we still got Godzilla vs. Gigan.
Ooh.